Hey, me again. Got more notes. This one's going to be on the Odysseus in the Labyrinth, the technical labyrinth, even though he wasn't actually like Theseus in the Minotaur's labyrinth that Daedalus made. It's more of a represental thing. So the story or episode that I chose was when Odysseus went and got trapped by the Cyclops, Polyphemus. I'm just going to call him a Cyclops. I can't keep pronouncing Polyphemus. And so they are sealed. Odysseus and his men are all sealed in a cave with a big old rock, and it's way too heavy to move with force, because normally Odysseus would just move things with brute force because he had so many men, and they could just trudge through anything. But this was one of the first times that he would actually have to use his brain, and that's why it's a big turning point in the story, because he learns that not everything can be just pushed through and shoved. And so he realizes that he must use his wits to escape, and through this revelation, he figures out what he's got to do. So first, he blinds this guy, Cyclops, and he gives him a fake name, Nobody. But in the process, there's 6 men that are killed. There's 2 that are killed at the start when they first enter, and then 2 are eaten the next day, and then right before their plan is actually, going through, he eats 2 more. So a total loss of 6 men, and that's why it's a turning point, because it's the first, major loss of people, and I feel like Odysseus probably realized, hey, this is really dangerous. I shouldn't just be, instead of using my pride, I want to go see the Cyclops, and I want to go see what he looks like, instead of just taking the stuff and running like they were going to do. It, worked way worse. And so, because of this, after they defeat them, his pride also gets to him in another way. He gave Polyphemus, or the Cyclops, a fake name, Nobody, so he could be like, oh, who killed you? Nobody! Smart, I guess. And right as they're leaving, he shouts to the Cyclops, my name's Odysseus! Or something along those lines. And that was where the pride got to him, because Polyphemus was the son of Poseidon, and since Polyphemus wasn't, dead, he was just blind and hurt, he calls upon Poseidon, and it was like, curse Odysseus, he did this to me, he's not good. And Poseidon, being the god of the seas and all that, made his journey way harder. And so that is one of the ways that his own pride was his downfall, and that was why it's a turning point, because he realized he has to use his wits, and it's a lot more dangerous, and his pride just, you gotta tone it down, buddy. And okay, time for the personal part, because that's on the prompt. One of my points that's like this is this is gonna be so girl of me, I had this ex, we'll call him Mike. We're gonna call this ex Mike. And so Mike was not a great guy. He was really manipulative and just overall not a great guy. He'd be like, oh, if you don't do this, you hate me, you just won't break up with me. And I'm like, no, I don't, but you're gonna make me. And so anything that I would try to do, I tried to break up with him 3 times, and he was like, well, I'm just gonna go myself. And I'm like, no, now I can't leave you. And so eventually I had to think about what I would have to do in order to leave him, because he wasn't going good on my mental health. He was making my grades dropping. I tried to help him. I really did. But there was nothing I could do. I did all that I could. All I could really do. And so I took some advice from my friends, and I was like, what do I do? And they all told me that, dude, you just gotta drop him. Even though that he's gonna say all these bad things, be like, oh, you're gonna make me do this. Oh, it's because of you that I did this. It's all your fault. Sorry, it makes me mad to retell this. I was like, okay, I just can't feed into what he wants. What he wants is me to stay with him, because he wants to push all of his issues onto me. And so I kind of relate to Odysseus' journey by having to think outside the box and be like, okay, I can't just do this the regular way. I gotta actually think of what's in best for my favor. And that was in my favor, just to completely disregard his emotions, which is, in theory, that's really mean, but come on, y'all gotta know the guy. I pinky promise, not a guy. And so, yeah. And that was kind of a turning point in my life, because then I realized that I just can't take crap from everybody, And sometimes you just got to put me first, even though as much as I want to make everyone else happy, just can't happen all the time. So, yeah, that's my turning point, and that is the Cyclops and Odysseus story. Hope you liked my little trauma dump there. Mike was not his real name, but it was real close.